Welcome back to the kitchen. Today I am excited because I am going to try a recipe I have never made before. Not only that, but I haven't even tasted it for close to half a century. So join me as I make Indiana-style barbecue chicken. What makes this Indiana-style chicken? Well, that's a great question. And admittedly, my sister and I are probably the only two people in the world that refer to this as Indiana-style. But that's the only place we've ever had it, so what else are you going to call it? My family is from Indiana, and even though we didn't live in Indiana, we would frequently go back for reunions or family gatherings of all kinds. This was a potluck event. People would bring a side dish or a dessert, and there was no shortage of variety. But one thing we always had was barbecue chicken. To the best of my recollection, these chickens would be marinated at my grandmother's house, and we would haul them all to my uncle's farm where he had set up just a row of half barrels that had been made into grills. And they would grill the living daylights out of these chickens. My recollection, my child's memory, is that the chicken was always burned to a crisp. That may not be true, and it could be, you know how kids don't like grill marks on their food. This wasn't that. I mean, my memory was that after you got done eating this chicken, you would just have flakes of black on your hands. Like I said, though, this was a long time ago, but everybody loved this chicken. So I am going to do my best to recreate this delicious childhood memory and not burn it. Well, we'll see where life takes us. Step number one is to break apart this chicken. Now, butchering a chicken is part art, part science, and part brute force. And I lean more into the brute force method. So I'm just going to fast forward through this part, and we'll get to the marinade in just a bit. I'll start with the leg. Just kind of look for the natural separation points. The one thing that really helps with this is having a very sharp knife, and I love this knife for separating chickens. I'll see if I can find a link, but I love it. And I don't recall if they left the skin on or took it off, but I think the skin was on. I'm gonna leave it on. As I remove each piece, I'm going to stick it in this freezer bag, which will become our marinating bag. That seemed to work pretty well, so I'm going for the other leg now. Into the bag. Next, I'm going for the wings, which I find to be a little trickier than the legs, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just letting the weight of the chicken do the work. Well, and the knife. That went just fine too. The next wing. All right, maybe this is easier than I recall. All right, now to remove the breast, I will make a cut down the backbone. And just slice it off the ribs. We end up with this piece, which I think is the tenderloin. I'm going to remove it because otherwise it's just going to flop around. And here we have the breast. The skin is just barely hanging on. We'll see. I might end up taking this off. And once again, I'm just trying to slice along the backbone. I'm sure a professional does this much faster and neater. And then I'll remove the tenderloin here as well. And yeah, this is just going to come off. It's hanging on by a thread. Probably could have left the skin on the legs because it's hanging onto it pretty well, but too late now. Did I already say I was going to leave the skin on the wings? I can't remember. The most difficult part about making this marinade is mincing an onion, so let's just get that over with. I should have used a larger cutting board. Now we can assemble the marinade. 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 1/2 cup lemon juice or vinegar. My grandmother used vinegar. 1/4 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon paprika. The recipe says 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to eyeball it. 1 tablespoon sugar, 2 tablespoons diced onion. The rest of these diced onions I will use for brats or hot dogs or something. Give it a good mix. I'm going to reserve a 1/4 cup of marinade for basting purposes while it's cooking. And the rest goes in the bag. Seal the bag. I'm trying to remove as much air as possible before I seal the bag. And now just get every piece more or less evenly coated. I'm going to marinate the chicken in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. 2 to 4 hours is ideal, no more than 12 hours. In an hour, I'm going to flip that chicken so the other side has a chance to bathe in the marinade. And then an hour after that, we're going to grill, and I will see you then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the backyard. I've had the chicken marinating for 3 hours. I turned it twice in that time. I've got the old rust bucket grill ready to go, and it's time to grill. The center of the coals is going to be where the highest temperatures are. So I'm going to put the dark meat over that. I'm going to use the top rack just because I don't want it to burn based on my previous experience with this chicken. I'll put the tenderloins way in the far side. And I'll move pieces around as necessary. And then I'll discard all of this extra stuff. I reserve some for basting, but that's in a separate container. I normally check the meat every 4 minutes. In this case, I don't know if that's necessary because it was marinated and it was plenty wet when I put it in there, but better safe than sorry. Oh yeah, that's some good color. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. This wing on the left is more color than the wing on the right. I'm going to add some of that reserved marinade on top now that I flipped them over. These coals are really hot. Let's put it down for another 4 minutes. Now the breast and the tender, it looks like it's getting done, but it's not. It doesn't have much color yet, so I might have to rearrange it. Just a little color is nice. Another 4 minutes have passed, so we're checking on the bird. Yeah, we're seeing some color, but I think we need more time. This wing looks like it's about done. I'm going to move it. Give it another 4 minutes. I'm going to check the temperature of the meat. This is the dark meat. It's at 170 degrees. This is 180. Here's the breast, 168. Technically this chicken is done. I would like to see a little more color. Well, this breast could use a little more time. Well, no, it's 155. Yeah, this chicken is fully cooked. I'm going to move it down and I just want to see a little more color on it, but I don't want it to cook too much longer. At the risk of removing my eyebrows, I'm going to add a little more basting to the chicken here. We'll just let this cook for a few minutes. All right, let's give it take a look and see where we're at. Oh yeah, there's the blackened chicken I was looking for. Oh yeah, look at that wing. Definitely dark. Okay, we got some good color going on here. Now this breast has the least amount of color. Yeah, I should take this wing and just move it around, get it off the heat. And we're running out of marinade, but let's give it another little coating. I'm pretty sure when we made this when I was a kid, they left the skin on. And I don't know how that affects the cook here. I expect it makes some difference. But as I recall, we ended up just peeling that part off and eating what was below. This way we should have more of an experience of flavor. All right. Shut the lid for a little bit. We're almost ready to eat. The chicken is now done, so I'll give you a closer look. See, the charred ones are what my sister and I would call Indiana style. It may not be fair, but it's just kind of an inside joke. I'm going to try the blackened ones as well as something without so much color. And I just wanted to see if, as my sister puts it, the char is part of the flavor profile. Maybe, we'll see. So I will just grab this leg. So I've got a tender and a leg. Here's the tender. Well, the tender is very thin, and it's no surprise that it's a bit dry, but certainly edible. Yeah, I would finish that whole piece. Let me just grab some of this breast here that's thicker. The meat is very tender. I assume that's from resting in that vinegar-based marinade. Definitely more moisture in the thicker chicken. But as far as flavor goes, it's not a very strong flavor. In fact, probably could use a little bit more salt. But before I do that, I'm going to try this crispy piece. That's the flavor I remember. And while it is dark, I do prefer the darker one. I should also try one with one of these wings here because it has the skin. I'm pretty sure those pieces had skin on them. And the wing is actually my favorite part. At least with this recipe, the pieces with the skin on are better, and the char is better. I mean, char versus no char, you want the char. So I stand corrected. We always thought it was just kind of a joke why the chicken always was burned, but it's because it's good that way. Indiana-style chicken, it's a winner. Thanks for stopping by.